Welcome back, our dear viewers. Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Dr. Ayman Ashour, affirmed the ministry's keenness to serve the developmental issues in the society and to achieve interdependence between universities and the requirement of the labor market. The ministry aims to develop youth potentials to achieve this objective by encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship, pointing to taking into account the different economic activities in each of the geographical regions in Egypt. To shed more light on this topic, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Nevine Makram, Dean of the Social and Cultural Planning Center at the National Planning Institute. Good morning, Dr. Nevine.
Good morning, dear.
Dr. Nevine, first of all, how do you assess the level of higher education in Egypt today?
Actually, for the QS World University ranking in 2020, Egypt is maintaining on the continent. So we have actually 14 ranking out of the 32 from the continent. Okay, and that's what's important for us to have it this year. That we all know that due to more interest and more care about research and about international publications. Okay, so for example, you have Cairo University, which made major progress in the QS World University rankings starting in 2022, because the university became among the top 100 universities in 5 subjects. That's according to the president of Cairo University, and that was stated in April 2022. So we have that, we have more universities in the ranking, and we have much better position, and we're still maintaining a very good position as first or all over the continent.
Dr. Nevine, how can actually innovation and entrepreneurship be encouraged and linked to the educational and research activities in the Egyptian universities?
I think that we should work more on developing educational programs that are teaching entrepreneurship, and these courses should include a practical part of practical projects, and these projects should be linked to the current activities performed in any university. So again, taking the example of Cairo University, we can say that 3 years ago, Cairo University launched its initiative to require entrepreneurship and critical thinking courses for all undergraduates. That's a very important point, and that's a very important course. Other universities followed the model. And happily enough, we had the Supreme Council of Universities approving this effort and trying to encourage more public and private institutions to copy the model and to provide the students with theoretical parts and theoretical
Yes.
Sorry. With theoretical and practical experience in this field, even in the IT field. I taught this course to students in Hilwan University. Okay, we were trying to tell them that we should be using innovation and creativity in all of the fields, and that is a must-take course. We also had a project that was establishing multiple entrepreneurship clubs with Egyptian universities, and that was initiated by the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, and it aimed at encouraging students to explore their own commercial projects. This program was sponsored by grants, and it led to the creation of 65 clubs in Egypt.
Yeah. Doctor, actually, are the possibilities of education in Egypt ready to encourage the innovation and entrepreneurship?
Actually, for the last 10 years, Egypt has made a dramatic leap in a number of fast expanding startups. We'll be talking about startups not only in the traditional projects, but also in the deep tech, in the IT field. So we're encouraging our students and our fresh graduates to work on these startups and to provide innovative and creative solutions to the currently faced problems in the community. You only see that, sorry.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, that Egypt successfully established many incubators as well. So we're trying to help, we're trying to encourage our fresh graduates to work in a different way, maybe a more suitable way to what's going on not only in Egypt, but in the whole world.
Yes. Dr. Nevine, can you shed light on the role of the entrepreneurship in supporting the Egyptian economy?
Again, we're relying on these startups and we're relying on entrepreneurship to provide better, if I may say, solutions to the problems. So again, talking about economic crisis,
Yes.
I think that nowadays the country is taking it in a different way. So we're not relying on big projects, but we're relying on small, on medium and micro projects and enterprises that will have some, like for example, some mobile applications, some IT solutions that are more suitable to the economy these days.
How do you evaluate here, as you have kindly mentioned now, the role of the SMEs here in developing the world economy and the Egyptian economy in particular in the time of hardship, if I might say, and in the time of the repercussions of the COVID-19 and the Ukrainian war?
Again, these startups and these small and medium enterprises are providing new and more job opportunities. Because after all of these variables, after all of these problems and disasters, if I may say, that happened, we had a very bad impact on the unemployment file. So these startups and these micro and these small and medium enterprises helped providing new and better job opportunities, actually creating new job opportunities, especially in the fields of IT, in the fields of artificial intelligence, in the fields of data science. So that was a major impact.
Yes. If we talk precisely on the artificial intelligence and the field of artificial intelligence in the startups and in the field of entrepreneurship, how we do find a link here, and to what extent the young generation and the education in the university are going to witness a leap here due to the artificial intelligence, if we can say, Dr. Nevine?
Actually, most of the startups are making use of the emerging technology. So with artificial intelligence, you find solutions for every problem, as you may say. You can take the example of the chat GPT. You can take the example of any applications of artificial intelligence in any domain. If we're talking industry level, if we're talking about the medical field, if we're talking about the tourism. So now, whenever we see a new startup or new project, you will find a link to the artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Because they're using it as a tool, okay, as a solution to any problem and any domain. Especially with young generation that, you know, they really like artificial intelligence and they're more into the emerging technologies.
Yes, indeed. Can you talk to us about the importance of encouraging the private sector in order to invest in higher education and supporting partnership in a way that helps provide a stimulating climate for localization and production of knowledge and creating an appropriate environment for innovation and creativity?
Actually, maybe we should work more on studying the current market, studying the needs of the industry. And then if we do so, we can go for new multidisciplinary programs in these universities, in these private universities, because usually this is more flexible. We can do it in a flexible way that's more than the other universities, the other governmental universities. So if these private universities will have kind of a connection or link with the industry, so as they can kind of make sure that graduates will have job opportunities afterwards. And I think that this will encourage them to have more disciplinary programs and to be investing funds in these institutions. We need to work on this thing because sometimes as a professor, I see that we're teaching some subjects that do not have kind of a practical impact in the market. So you end up having very good fresh graduates who cannot find any job and who cannot contribute to solving any problems in society. And that that's not the main reason of having a university. As we all know that university graduates should be linking their projects and their solutions, their thesis, to solving the community problems.
Yes. Dr. Nevine, how can the higher education institutions be linked actually to industrial institutions and the requirement of the labor market in a way that reduces the unemployment and to provide the graduates with job opportunities that are suitable for their academic qualifications?
We must work on having some joint workshops between leaders in the education sector and leaders from the industrial institutions, so as to have kind of brainstorming sessions and coming up with the needs and how to satisfy this need. We should also include training as one of the requirements to obtain the bachelor's degree, so that we can assure that the student is not only taking courses, but is applying these courses, is applying the knowledge and is getting more skills in the real world. We cannot do so unless we have training. We should train our students, not only teach our students.
Yes. Dr. Higher Education Minister Dr. Ashour emphasized the importance of encouraging the private sector in order to invest in higher education and supporting partnership with it in a way that helps provide its stimulating climate for localization and production of knowledge and create suitable environment for innovation and creativity. How do you see here the role of the private sector in that?
Again, the private sector should be working hand in hand with the government in order to provide better teaching, better training to students, so that to enable them to work on the practical problems that we're facing. Yes. But we should also work on the regulatory part, because sometimes people are kind of, they do not think about investing in any sector unless they have clear regulations and unless they have support from the regulatory body.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Nevine Makram, Dean of the Social and Cultural Planning Center at the National Planning Institute, thank you so much for your precious input and for being with us, Dr. Nevine. Our dear viewers will go to a short break, and after that we'll be back to continue our segments in the breakfast show, so stay tuned.